The Last Wish in the World, written by Year 5 pupils at Robert Wilkinson Primary Academy. Dancing and twirling through the hot chocolate-scented air, snowflakes scattered down onto the streets below. Huddled together, skyscrapers watched over bustling shoppers weaving in and out. Distant church bells sang in harmony, rudely interrupted by the wailing, whining, shrieking of sirens. Nestled amongst the towering buildings sat a lonely park, a hidden source of nature amongst such a jam-packed city. No one noticed the wizard come out of the train station. As he shuffled down the pavement toward the partially illuminated park, he held his diamond-tipped staff in a tight grip as if it was his only hope. He stumbled over his robes, which were the colour of midnight dancing in the wind, settled himself on the public bench and waited. Balanced on the end of his crooked nose, a rather large pair of rectangular-shaped glasses helped his gleaming blue eyes to see. His deep eyes showed his kindness, intelligence, and never-ending perseverance. The wizard's long bushy beard flowed down his front like a waterfall, and his face was a blanket of wrinkles. On top of his grey, wiry hair, a moth-eaten hat perched lopsidedly as if ready to leap off at any opportunity. As the light faded, he shivered whilst carefully pulling his silky cloak further over his hunched shoulders. "Maybe here. Maybe someone in this huge city will take it," he muttered to himself. The wizard's eyes sparkled with excitement as he looked down at his hands. Cut there was a small black box about the size of his hand. Black paint was rubbing off at the corners to reveal the tan mahogany wood below. Intricate carved patterns, so lifelike, seemed to swirl off the lid. This was no ordinary box. As the wizard placed the box gently on the bench, the smell of someone's old dusty attic filled the cold winter air. Dangling from the rusty golden clasp, a label, hastily written in black ink, read, "The Last Wish in the World, guaranteed to come true." Wearing a steely grimace, an elderly man hobbled into the lonely park. His crinkled jacket draped behind him, and his grey hair was disguised by white glistening snow. His withered eyes seemed to be surveying his familiar surroundings, hoping for a peaceful place to escape the noisy bustle of the city. His shoulders slouched and his brow creased as he noticed his favourite bench was occupied. Moving sluggishly, he dragged his feet towards the bench and, with a heavy grunt, collapsed into a reluctant heap next to the hopeful wizard. The wizard's eager eyes fixated on the elderly gentleman as he quickly threw his hand out to greet him. "Hello, old fellow. Would you like this enchanting box? It contains the very last wish in the world." Clenching his heart, the old man jumped back in dismay, overwhelmed by the wizard's hasty reaction. Glaring back with a face like thunder, he squawked, "How dare you? Don't you know how old I am? What were you thinking?" Looking apologetic, the wizard replied, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Would you like this priceless box which contains the last wish in the world?" Standing up, the old man stumbled away, grunting to himself, "I'm too old to believe in magic." Feeling rejected, the wizard began scanning for his next opportunity. All of a sudden, a tall, slim man rushed frantically down the winding path towards the old wizard, who was slumped despondently on the bench. He began to pace round the bushes, obviously searching for something, with panic and worry etched onto his face. The man was dressed in a faded tuxedo, which had seen better days, with a waistcoat and red velvet cape. In his sweaty palms he held a black leather briefcase, which was decorated with a gold ornate padlock and a label which read, "Property of Esteban the Magnificent." Inside were his only possessions, his magic tricks. Muttering quickly and quietly under his breath about a lost rabbit, he continued to scuttle around in circles whilst his cape rippled in the chilly breeze and his other hand gripped onto a glimmering top hat finished off with a unique, delicate flower. His head bent low, he stumbled right into the wizard, who had risen up hopefully to greet him. "Excuse me, sir, would you like this box? It contains the last wish in the world," the wizard asked politely. The magician, unaware he was being spoken to, glanced up in surprise and stuttered, No, thank you. I'm looking for my rabbit Snowy. Have you seen him?" I haven't, sorry, but please take the wish," encouraged the wizard. "It's guaranteed to come true." Puzzled, he shook his head and crossed his arms in dismay. Don't be silly, that's the oldest trick in the book," he smirked. With that, he scurried away, leaving the wizard alone once more. Minutes later, Miss Penelope, the superstar, sashayed past the bench in 7-inch heels. Her strawberry blonde hair blew in the wind and a brightly patterned silk scarf wafted around her shoulders. Jumping up excitedly, the wizard's eyes sparkled as he held the small wooden box out towards her. "Excuse me, miss," he said politely. Flicking her hair and removing her dark shades, Miss Penelope exclaimed sharply, I simply do not have time for autographs. And what a strange thing to ask me to sign." No, I don't want your autograph. I would never dream of letting anyone write on this," replied the wizard, clutching the box to his chest. "This box contains the last wish in the world, guaranteed to come true. I want to give it to you," he gushed desperately. Throwing her arms in the air and glaring at the wizard, Penelope shrieked, "A wish! A wish! I don't have time for this. I have a movie shoot to get to." "Nice outfit, freak," she added under her breath as she clip-clopped off into the distance. With a huge sigh, he slumped on the bench. The wizard was done. The wizard had failed. His journey had taken him around the world, but still the box was in his hands. Feeling he could do no more, he placed the box upon a bench and left. He disappeared into the night. Then the girl arrived. She sat on the bench, resting on her journey home from school. She saw the box, picked it up and read the label. The last wish in the world, guaranteed to come true. She read it again. The last wish. She frowned and bit her lip. She had only one chance, it seemed. After that, the world would apparently be wishless. Well, what should she wish for then? To be rich? To be famous? However hard she tried, she just couldn't make up her mind. Soon her head ached with all the wishes she had to choose from. "This is no fun at all," she wailed. "I wish that the wish in this box wasn't the last wish in the world." And she threw the box down on the bench. And as she did so, the lid snapped off. So hurrying away, she didn't notice that she got exactly what she wanted. For out of the broken box slipped wish after wish, all guaranteed to come true. Twisting and turning like snowflakes in the cold night air, they floated over the streets, along the alleys and the shopping centres until they filled every highway and byway in the city. And there, only waiting for someone to discover them, they still are to this day.